The cargo bay of the celestial horizon erupted in chaos as the loading crane malfunctioned. Metal screeched against metal, and a 2-ton container broke free from its magnetic clamps, tumbling directly toward the loading crew. "Move!" shouted Marcus Webb, the human cargo specialist, shoving his Vrexian coworker Zilth out of harm's way. The container clipped Marcus's shoulder and arm, spinning him like a ragdoll before crashing into the bay wall. Emergency klaxons wailed throughout the station. Zilth scrambled to his feet, his 4 eyes wide with horror. "Marcus! Don't move! Medical emergency! Medical emergency!" His translator practically screamed the words across all channels. Marcus pushed himself up on his good arm, wincing. "I'm fine, buddy. Just got tagged a bit." He examined his torn uniform sleeve, revealing a nasty gash running from shoulder to elbow. Blood seeped steadily through his fingers as he pressed down on it. "Fine." Ziltha's voice reached a pitch that shouldn't have been possible for his species. "You're leaking vital fluids. Your primary locomotion appendage is compromised. The impact force would have killed 3 of me." Within seconds, the bay flooded with medical personnel. Dr. Vexcor, the station's head physician, a tall, crystalline being from Sector 7, materialized with his trauma team. His surface flickered with urgent amber patterns. "Human down. Prepare extreme trauma protocols." Vexcor's medical scanner swept over Marcus, and the readings made his crystalline structure flash in distress. Fractured skeletal structures, severe tissue damage, catastrophic fluid loss. "How are you conscious?" Marcus blinked, looking down at his arm. "This? Doc, it's just a scratch. I've had worse doing yard work. Can you just slap some bandages on it? I need to finish this shift." The entire medical team froze. "Just a scratch?" Vexcor repeated slowly, as if the translator had malfunctioned. "Yeah, maybe a few stitches. Got any of that super glue stuff you guys use?" Marcus tried to stand, and 4 medical personnel immediately rushed to support him. "Do not move," Vexcor commanded. "You are experiencing catastrophic structural failure. Your pain response system must be malfunctioning. This is a Level 9 medical emergency." "Level 9? Marcus looked confused. "Isn't that, like, for people who are dying?" "Yes." Vexcor practically shrieked, his crystalline body pulsing red. "Emergency stasis field. Prepare the surgical bay. Contact the human embassy, we need their medical protocols immediately." As the medical team swarmed around him with equipment Marcus didn't recognize, he caught Ziltha's traumatized expression. His friend had witnessed a fatal level injury, yet the human was arguing about finishing his shift. For the first time in his career, Dr. Vexcor understood why Earth was classified as a Class 12 death world. The medical bay transformed into organized chaos. Dr. Vexcor had treated thousands of species across the galaxy, but humans remained the most baffling patients in his entire career. Marcus lay on the examination table, surrounded by holographic displays showing his internal systems. Every reading contradicted standard medical logic. "His cardiovascular system is maintaining pressure despite the breach," reported Nurse Kellix, a 6-armed Plenthian. "His autonomous repair mechanisms have already begun sealing damaged tissue." "How is this possible?" Vexcor studied the scans with growing bewilderment. His skeletal system shows microfractures throughout the impact zone, yet load-bearing capacity remains at 73%. His pain suppressant production has increased by 400%. "This is unprecedented. Can I get some water?" Marcus asked casually, scrolling through his data pad with his uninjured hand. "And maybe something to eat? I'm starving." "You want to consume nutrients?" Vexcor's crystalline structure flickered in confusion. "Your system is in crisis mode." "Yeah, exactly. That's why I need food." Energy for healing and all that. Marcus looked at them as if this were obvious. You know, proteins, carbs. Maybe a sandwich? The medical staff exchanged glances that needed no translation. The human was clearly delirious. The medical bay doors whooshed open, and Commander Treshanear, the station's administrator, rushed in. The towering Korvaxian scales were pale with worry. I came as soon as I heard. How severe is the damage? Should we prepare next of kin notifications? I already messaged my mom, Marcus called out. Told her I'd call this weekend like usual. Treshanear turned to Vexcor. It is. Vexcor's frustration was evident. By any galactic medical standard, he should be unconscious or worse. Yet he's requesting sandwiches. The doctor pulled up a holographic comparison. Look at this. A comparable injury to a Vrexian would result in immediate system shock and death within minutes. A Plenthian would require full cybernetic limb replacement. A Korvaxian would need months in regeneration suspension. And the human? Treshanear asked. Vexcor highlighted Marcus's wound, where cellular activity blazed like a star. His body is actively rebuilding itself. His pain threshold is absurdly high. His blood is clotting at impossible speeds. And his primary concern is. He paused, barely believing it, workplace productivity. Marcus waved his good arm. Hey, Doc. How long until I can lift stuff again? We've got 3 more cargo ships coming in this week. Weeks. Vexcor shouted, his calm demeanor cracking. Minimum. Possibly months. Months? Marcus sat up despite protests. For this? Come on, I'll be back in a few days, tops. Treshanear's scales went even paler. Dr. Vexcor, I need you to explain something to me. Why did humanity classify this planet as safe for colonization when they come from a world that produces this? He gestured at Marcus. Vexcor pulled up Earth's classification file. The warning labels alone filled 3 screens. Because, Commander, the doctor said quietly, humans don't realize they're terrifying. The emergency transmission to the human embassy brought an immediate response, though not the one Dr. Vexcor expected. A cheerful human woman appeared on the holographic display, wearing casual medical scrubs. Hi there. I'm Jennifer Walsh, Human Medical Liaison. I understand you have a human patient with traumatic injuries? Vexcor composed himself, his crystalline surface shifting to professional blue tones. Yes, Miss Walsh. We have a catastrophic emergency. Your citizen, Marcus Webb, has sustained. Oh, I see him right there. Jennifer leaned forward, squinting at the video feed. Hey Marcus. How you doing? Marcus waved from the examination table. Hey Jennifer. These guys are being super dramatic about a little cut. Little cut? Vexcor's structure flashed red. Miss Walsh, please observe the diagnostic data. He transferred the medical scans. Fractured humerus, torn muscles, severe laceration, significant fluid loss. Jennifer studied the scans while sipping from a mug labeled Galaxy's Best Medic. Okay, yeah, that's a decent gash. Marcus, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad does it hurt? Maybe a 4. 3 when I don't move it. Jennifer nodded. Sounds about right. Dr. Vexcor, I'm sending over the standard human trauma treatment protocol. Clean the wound, sterilize, 20 to 30 stitches should do it, set the bone, give him some antibiotics, and he'll be fine. The entire medical team stared at her. Fine? Vexcor repeated weakly. That's your medical assessment? Fine. Well, keep him overnight for observation, obviously. But yeah, he'll be back to work in a week or 2. Jennifer took another sip. Humans are pretty durable. This is actually not that bad compared to what we usually see. Nurse Kellex leaned into frame, her voice shaking. What you usually see? This isn't your worst trauma case? Oh gosh, no. Jennifer laughed. Last month, we had a construction worker who fell 3 stories onto rebar. Punctured lung, ruptured spleen, multiple fractures. He walked himself to the medical center. Walked? The collective shout came from every alien in the med bay. Well, limped, Jennifer corrected. Took him about 2 months to fully recover. Tough guy. Marcus's injury is more of an urgent care situation than emergency room, honestly. Vexcor felt his crystalline structure might actually crack from stress. Miss Walsh, I must ask, what constitutes an emergency for humans? Jennifer considered this. Can't stop bleeding after 10 minutes, bones sticking out of skin, unconsciousness, chest pain, severe burns covering more than 20% of body surface area, that sort of thing. That sort of thing? Treshanar had been listening to the transmission and now stumbled backward. Those are all fatal scenarios. Fatal? No. Serious, sure, but humans have survived way worse. Jennifer pulled up a file. There are documented cases of humans surviving falls from airplane heights, multiple organ failures, extreme temperature exposure, massive blood loss. Earth medicine has gotten pretty good at keeping people alive through almost anything. Marcus spoke up. My grandpa got kicked in the chest by a horse when he was 20. Broke 4 ribs. He just wrapped them up and finished his farm work. Lived to 93. The medical staff looked at each other in horror. Jennifer smiled warmly. Anyway, doctor, just follow the protocol I sent. Marcus will be totally fine. Oh, and make sure he eats. Humans heal faster with proper nutrition. He's probably hungry. I am hungry, Marcus confirmed. See? Normal human response to injury. Good luck. Jennifer ended the transmission. Vexcor stared at the empty holographic space where she'd been, then down at the simple treatment protocol she'd sent. It looked less like emergency trauma care and more like instructions for a minor inconvenience. Commander, he said slowly, I need to submit a formal request to have Earth's Deathworld classification upgraded. The station's medical bay had never been so busy with a single patient who was just fine. Dr. Vexcor had spent the night monitoring Marcus's vitals, expecting catastrophic system failure at any moment. Instead, he watched in fascination as the human's body performed what seemed like medical miracles. His cellular regeneration rate has increased by 600%, Nurse Kellex reported, all 6 of her arms working different monitoring stations. The fracture is already showing calcium deposit formation. This should take weeks. 12 hours, Vexcor murmured, checking the readings again. It's been 12 hours since the injury, and he's already entered advanced healing stages. Marcus was sitting up in bed, eating what he called a proper breakfast, a plate piled with proteins, carbohydrates, and various nutrients that would overwhelm most species' digestive systems. Doc, this cast thing is really itchy. How long do I have to wear it? 4 to 6 weeks minimum. Weeks? Marcus groaned. Can we make it 2? I've got a cargo tournament next month. A tournament? Vexcor's surface flickered confused orange. You want to competitively move heavy objects? For recreation? Yeah. It's fun. We see who can load a ship fastest. I came in second last year. Marcus flexed his good arm unconsciously. This time I'm going for gold. The doors slid open, and Zilth rushed in, carrying what appeared to be gifts. Marcus. My friend. I have brought you recovery offerings. His 4 eyes were still tinged with worry gray. I was so frightened. I thought you were dying. Ah, buddy, I'm fine. Look, Marcus lifted his injured arm slightly, then winced. Okay, maybe don't look. But I'm fine. Zilth set down a basket of what humans called fruit, though most species considered them mildly toxic. I researched human healing customs. You require rest, nutrition, and... He pulled out a small device, entertainment during recovery. You got me a gaming pad? Zilth, you're the best. Marcus's genuine smile made the Vrexian's skin shift to pleased purple. I don't understand Deathworld bonding, Nurse Kelix whispered to Vexcor. The human nearly died protecting him, and now they're exchanging gifts? Humans call it friendship, Vexcor replied, studying his datapad. I've been reading human medical literature all night. Do you know what they consider minor injuries? He pulled up a list. Cuts requiring under 50 stitches. Fractures of non-weight-bearing bones. Concussions without loss of consciousness. Burns covering less than 10% of body surface. Dislocated joints. Minor stab wounds. Minor stab wounds? Kelix's arms flailed. There's a classification system for stabbings? Apparently, humans have survived being stabbed dozens of times and recovered fully. Vexcor's glow dimmed with exhaustion. Their history is filled with individuals who experienced catastrophic trauma and simply continued existing. Commander Treshenar entered, carrying official documentation. Marcus Webb, I'm here to present you with the Station Valor Award for risking your life to save a fellow crew member. Marcus looked embarrassed. Commander, I just pushed him out of the way. Anyone would've. Anyone would have died, Treshenar interrupted firmly. Zilth would have been killed instantly. You absorbed an impact that should have been fatal. This is the highest honor our station can bestow. The ceremony was brief, but every alien present looked at Marcus with a mixture of respect and primal fear. They were witnessing a creature that could survive what killed others and call it nothing. After Treshenar left, Marcus turned to Vexcor. So really, Doc, when can I get out of here? I hate sitting around. Vexcor sighed, a sound his species rarely made. Against all my medical training and common sense. Jennifer was right. I'm releasing you tomorrow with restrictions. Light duty only. Yes. Marcus pumped his good fist in the air, then immediately grabbed his injured shoulder. Ow. Okay. Light duty. Got it. Watching the humans celebrate despite obvious pain, Vexcor finally understood, humans didn't have a broken pain response. They simply refused to let pain stop them. That, he decided, was somehow even more terrifying. News of the incident spread through the station faster than a hyperspace jump. By the third day of Marcus's recovery, the story had taken on legendary proportions. In the Vrexian quarters, Zilth found himself surrounded by his fellow citizens, all demanding details. He caught the container, asked Prexnil, her ears quivering with disbelief. No, it hit him, Zilth corrected for the 10th time. The full force. He should be dead. But 3 days later, he's walking around, complaining that he can't lift things. A younger Vrexian named Torp spoke up timidly. I heard humans evolved on a planet where everything tries to kill them. Is that true? Zilth pulled up Earth's file on his datapad. It's worse than that. Listen to this. Earth possesses megafauna capable of trampling most starfaring species, microscopic organisms that invade and destroy biological systems, weather patterns that can level structures, tectonic activity that reshapes entire regions, and vegetation that ranges from mildly toxic to immediately fatal. The group fell silent. And humans are the dominant species there, Zilth continued. They don't have natural armor, venom, or significant physical weapons. They just endure. And heal. And keep going. Meanwhile, in the station's recreational area, a group of Corvaxian engineers were having a similar discussion. I ran the calculations, said Vexstar, displaying a holographic model. The impact force Marcus absorbed was approximately 47,000 newtons. That's enough to crush our skeletal structure into powder. Her colleague Rathnor's scales rippled with unease. Yet he walked to the medical bay. On his own locomotion appendages. Technically, he tried to refuse medical treatment, Vextar added. Dr. Vexcor had to order him to the med bay. The human wanted to keep working. Working? With fractured bones and torn tissue? Rathnor's scales went pale. What kind of survival instinct is that? I don't think it's survival instinct, Vextar said quietly. I think it's just normal for them. In the medical bay's break room, the staff was having their own crisis of understanding. Nurse Kellex was showing a compilation of human medical records to a group of stunned colleagues. This one severed his own arm while trapped under a boulder. To save his life. Then hiked for hours to get help. Voluntarily removed his own limb, gasped a Plenthian intern. It gets worse. Kellex scrolled further. This one was impaled through the torso by a metal rod. He called it inconvenient and drove himself to the hospital. Dr. Vexcor entered, looking even more exhausted than before. I've been consulting with human medical professionals across the galaxy. Do you know what their most common patient complaint is? Everyone leaned in. That humans refuse to seek medical care until injuries become actually serious. Vexcor's glow dimmed. They have a saying, walk it off. They believe most injuries will heal if simply ignored. That's insane, Kellex breathed. That's humanity, Vexcor corrected. And it works. Their immune systems fight off infections that would kill us. Their bones grow back stronger. Their pain tolerance is abnormally high. They're walking medical paradoxes. Back in his quarters, Marcus was video calling his mother on Earth. A 2-ton container? His mom's face showed concern but not panic. Honey, you need to be more careful. Mom, I'm fine. Just a broken arm. I've had worse. I know, but still. Remember when you broke your collarbone playing football? You were back on the field in 3 weeks. Exactly. This is nothing compared to that. His mother smiled warmly. Well, make sure you're eating enough protein. You need it for healing. And rest when you can. I will, Mom. Love you. After the call ended, Marcus looked at his bandaged arm thoughtfully. He'd noticed how the aliens reacted to his injury, the fear, the disbelief, the awe. It was strange being considered tough when he felt completely normal. On his datapad, a message appeared from Zilth. Thank you again for saving my life, my friend. You are the bravest being I have ever known. Marcus smiled and typed back, just doing what anyone would do. But across the station, in a dozen different quarters and offices, alien species were realizing something profound. What humans considered anyone would do was actually superhuman by galactic standards. The Deathworlders didn't see themselves as exceptional. That's what made them truly terrifying. 1 week after the incident, Marcus Webb reported for light duty. The cargo bay fell silent as he walked in. Webb. Cargo Master Thrun Kal, a massive Corvaxian with decades of experience, approached cautiously. Are you certain you're ready to return? No one would question if you took more time. Marcus held up his arm, still in a cast but mobile. Doc says I'm good for non-lifting work. I can do inventory, coordinate docking procedures, run the manifest systems. You can sit in the observation deck and supervise, Thrun Kal interrupted firmly. Doctor's orders. Which I have in writing. He displayed a very detailed message from Dr. Vexcor, complete with threatening medical jargon about catastrophic re-injury. Fine, fine. Marcus grinned. But I'm not useless, boss. What happened over the next few hours became station legend. From the observation deck, Marcus coordinated the most efficient cargo operation the station had ever seen. His knowledge of loading patterns, weight distribution, and timing turned the normally chaotic process into a symphony of movement. Crew 3, you've got a magnetic interference on Platform 7. Recalibrate before loading that container. Crew 5, shift that load point 2 meters starboard, you'll get better weight balance. Zilth, looking good on Bay 12, you're ahead of schedule. By lunch, they'd processed 30% more cargo than average. By end of shift, they'd broken the station record. Thrun Kal approached Marcus in the observation deck, his scales shifting to impressed green. I've been running this bay for 20 years. That was extraordinary. Marcus shrugged with his good shoulder. Just kept everyone organized. You've got a great crew. You turned them into a great crew today. The cargo master studied the human thoughtfully. I'm beginning to understand something about your species. You don't give up, even when forced to stop. You simply find another way. Well, yeah. Marcus looked confused that this needed saying. Why wouldn't I? That evening, the crew insisted on celebrating. The station's recreational hall filled with workers from dozens of species, all wanting to toast the human who'd saved Zilth and then broken records while injured. Zilth himself gave a speech, his voice wavering with emotion. Marcus Webb taught me that courage isn't about being fearless. It's about being terrified and acting anyway. He saved my life without hesitation, and I will never forget. Marcus looked deeply uncomfortable with the attention. Really, guys, I just pushed him. Anyone would've. No. The shout came from Vextar, the Korvaxian engineer. No, Marcus. Anyone would not have. Most species would have frozen. Some would have fled. You, injured and in pain, moved deliberately toward danger. Because Zilth is my friend, Marcus said simply. You protect your friends. The hall went quiet. Such fierce, immediate loyalty was rare in the galaxy. Friendship usually developed slowly, carefully, with calculated risk assessment. Humans just decided someone was worth protecting, and that was that. Dr. Vexkor, attending the celebration, spoke up. I've learned something this week. Humans aren't fearless. The scans don't lie. Marcus's stress hormones were elevated, his heart rate increased. He knew the danger. He acted despite fear, not without it. Marcus nodded. Being brave means being scared and doing it anyway, right? For humans, perhaps. Vexkor's crystalline structure glowed with something like admiration. For most species, being scared means survival instinct overrides everything else. Humans have somehow evolved to override their override. It's remarkable and deeply troubling. Hey, I'll take remarkable and troubling, Marcus laughed, raising his glass of the one beverage station that was human-safe. Beats boring. As the celebration continued, Commander Treshanar pulled up Earth's file once again. He added a new note to the classification. Humans possess not just physical resilience, but psychological resilience that exceeds galactic norms. They form fierce bonds rapidly and will sacrifice themselves to protect those bonds. Recommend all human personnel be cross-trained for emergency response. They're the only species that runs toward danger reliably. On the observation deck later that night, Marcus and Zilth stood watching ships come and go. My family wants to meet you, Zilth said quietly. They say I owe you a life debt. You don't owe me anything, buddy. I owe you everything. Ziltha's 4 eyes met Marcus's too. You are pack-bonded to me now, yes? That's the human term? Marcus smiled. Yeah. Yeah, I guess we are pack-bonded. Good. Ziltha's skin shifted to content blue. Then you are stuck with me, Deathworlder. Wouldn't have it any other way. Above them, Earth hung in the viewport, a blue-green marble that looked deceptively peaceful. Neither mentioned that every human on the station had volunteered to help out while Marcus recovered, making meals, covering shifts, checking in daily. Pack bonding, it turned out, went both ways. And the galaxy was slowly learning that befriending a human meant gaining a fierce, loyal, practically indestructible ally who would call catastrophic injuries just a scratch and then break your cargo records the next week. Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. But also, kind of wonderful. 3 months after the incident, the Celestial Horizon Station convened its quarterly safety meeting. The auditorium was packed with representatives from every department and species. Commander Treshenar stood at the podium, his scales settling into formal bronze. Today we're implementing new safety protocols based on recent events. Dr. Vexcor will explain. The crystalline physician took the stage, his surface displaying calm professional blue. After treating our first serious human injury, I've been working with human medical experts across the galaxy. We're updating our trauma response procedures. A holographic display showed the revised protocols. The alien attendees murmured in surprise. These classifications seem extreme, noted a Plenthian supervisor. Level 9 emergencies reduced to Level 5 for human patients? Actually, Vexcor corrected, we're creating a separate classification system for humans. What's fatal for most species is survivable for them. We need protocols that match their physiology. He paused. And their psychology. The screen shifted to show psychological assessment criteria. Humans will downplay injuries. They'll attempt to continue working through trauma. They possess abnormally high pain tolerance and culturally view seeking help as optional. So how do we treat them? Asked Kellex from the medical section. We've learned to observe behavior, not just listen to self-reporting. If a human says an injury is pretty bad, it's catastrophic. If they say it's a nothing, it still requires examination. They're the only species we have to trick into accepting medical care. Uncomfortable laughter rippled through the audience. Marcus, sitting in the back with the cargo crew, sank lower in his seat. Zilth patted his good arm sympathetically. The cast had come off last week, ahead of schedule naturally. Treshenar continued, we're also implementing what humans call a buddy system. All personnel working in hazardous areas will pair with partners trained to recognize when humans are injured but claiming they're fine. I volunteer. Zilth stood up immediately. I am already Marcus's buddy. More laughter, this time warm rather than nervous. The commander's expression softened. Actually, Zilth, you're exactly why we're making these changes. Marcus's actions prevented a fatal accident. His recovery demonstrated human resilience. But most importantly, their friendship shows us something valuable. The screen changed to show footage from the cargo bay, Marcus and Zilth coordinating loads, sharing meals, working seamlessly together despite their species differences. Humans bond quickly and deeply. They're loyal beyond reason. They'll risk their lives for those they consider friends without calculation or hesitation. Treshenar looked directly at Marcus. These aren't weaknesses. These are strengths. Terrifying strengths, but strengths nonetheless. Marcus felt dozens of eyes turn toward him. He managed a small wave. Therefore, the commander announced, I'm creating a new position, Human Integration Specialist. Marcus Webb, you're promoted. Your job is to help us understand human behavior, safety needs, and work culture. You'll also train other humans joining our station. Marcus blinked. Sir? I'm just a cargo loader. You're a survivor, a record breaker, and apparently the person everyone on this station wants to work with. Treshenar's scales shifted to pleased green. Plus, you're the only human who won't lie about injury severity because Zilth will tattle on you immediately. This is true. Zilth confirmed cheerfully. I am an excellent tattler. After the meeting, Marcus found himself surrounded by well-wishers. Crew members from species he barely knew approached to congratulate him or ask questions about humans. Is it true you healed in 1/4 the predicted time? asked a young Plenthian engineer. Is Earth really covered in poisonous plants? Wondered a Vrexian navigator. Can all humans run toward danger, or just you? Questioned a Corvaxian pilot. Marcus answered patiently, though he kept insisting he wasn't special. No one believed him. Later, in the cargo bay, Zilth and Marcus stood at their usual spot, watching the familiar dance of ships and containers. You know what's funny? Marcus said. I came to this station thinking space would be exciting and dangerous. Turns out, I'm the thing everyone finds exciting and dangerous. Ziltha's skin rippled with amused violet. You saved my life, broke station records, and taught us that just a scratch means catastrophic injury in human language. You are very dangerous, yes. I'm really not though. Exactly. Zilth gestured enthusiastically with all four arms. You don't even see it. That's the scariest part. Humans are walking disasters who think they're normal. Marcus laughed. Okay, when you put it that way. My friend, Zilth said seriously, humanity spent millions of years surviving a planet that actively tried to kill them. You evolved to heal fast, endure pain, and protect your pack. You didn't become spacefarers by being weak. You did it by being unkillable. Not unkillable. Just, hard to kill. Same thing to us. Ziltha's eyes gleamed with mischief. Now come. As your official buddy and assigned tattler, I must ensure you don't lift anything too heavy on your first day as integration specialist. It's been 3 months, Zilth. My arm is completely healed. Human healed or actually healed? What's the difference? Exactly my point. To medical bay. Now. As they walked together toward the medical center for Marcus's, completely unnecessary, checkup, the cargo bay continued its eternal rhythm. But something had changed on the celestial horizon. Humans were no longer mysterious or frightening. They were understood, at least a little better. Still terrifying, still incomprehensible in their resilience, still absolutely insane by galactic standards. But also valued. Protected. Appreciated. Because the galaxy had learned an important lesson, Deathworlders might call catastrophic injuries just a scratch, but they'd also take that hit to save a friend. They'd break records while injured. They'd turn a traumatic incident into an opportunity to improve safety for everyone. Humans were disasters wrapped in determination and held together by sheer stubbornness. And the galaxy was better for having them. Even if they did give everyone else stress-induced crystalline fractures, scale discoloration, and premature chromatic dimming. Dr. Vexcor, watching Marcus and Zilth through the medical bay windows, added one final note to his human medical file. Patient continues to insist injuries are minor. Patient continues to heal impossibly fast. Patient continues to inspire fierce loyalty in others. Recommend accepting that humans will never make medical sense. Recommend appreciating them anyway. He marked the file complete and went to prepare for Marcus's checkup. After all, someone had to make sure the Deathworlder was actually as fine as he claimed. An